today we're going to run through how to install BushWrapz film-by-the-metre in a custom application. So today I'm installing it on my Canopy doors, which I have just wrapped in vinyl, and I want to protect that. So what we're doing is we've got our film-by-the-metre, which will come in a big old box with however many meters you've ordered. So I've got 3 meters and they are 1.52 meters wide. So this should be enough for both doors and the toolboxes with a little bit extra. So in your kit you're also going to get some squeegees and some syringes to pop any bubbles that may be there after a few days. We're also going to get a bit of slip solution, which is really going to help the install. Now this is an important step because it can make or break the install. Make it hard, make it easy. So today it's pretty hot and I am doing it outside, which is not recommended, but I don't have any other options. So what we're going to do is we have a test piece of film and we're going to make sure that this slides around easily on the panel before we go ahead and start installing. So we're going to use probably about 7 ml of this solution, which is a bit more than you normally would, and we're going to mix it in a spray bottle. We're going to use our test piece first and then go from there. So we're going to go ahead and remove everything that's in the way so we can remove our door handles and door locks and make this job a fair bit easier instead of templating around them. It's pretty easy to pull these off, so I think it's worth it. So we're going to get our slip solution and we're going to put 7 ml in here. I'm just measuring it with a kitchen scale. That should do. So I've put a litre of water in here. We're going to give it a little mix and then we'll use our test piece to see if that's slippery enough for this condition like this heat. Okay, so now we're going to test, make sure our slip solution is slippery enough. So I have actually gone and added another 7 ml. So this has got quite a lot of slip solution in it now, but we are applying direct sunlight, which is a big no, so don't do it. So all we're going to do is just spray a bit on the panel, spray a bit on the test piece, slap it on there, and make sure it slips around nice and easy. So that's moving around nicely, so that's going to be good for installing. So you want to measure up what you're going to cut. So I need approximately 900 ml, or it's 800 ml, but I'm going to cut an extra 100 ml by 1.5 across, and then I'm going to, so I've measured it up and I've marked on the paper side, and then I'll pull it off here and we're going to cut across in a nice straight line. So then we're going to clean down our surface, make sure there's no marks or anything underneath, because once it's under there, you don't want that being trapped under there forever. So we're going to clean this up as much as possible and then start to lay the film. So we're going to place the film onto the panel with the help of another pair of hands. So first off, we need to make sure the fingers that are touching the film are wet with the slip solution. We also need to peel off just a bit of the backing paper and place it on the surface and kind of like tack it in place. Well, not tack it, but rest it there. So, and have your helper kind of hold it there while you peel away the paper from the back of the film and remove the whole backing, lay it on the surface, and just make sure you keep re-wetting so you know where it's drying out until you're ready to put it in place. So, I'm going to go get it. Right. Spraying on the fingers, spraying down very generously. Working in direct sun makes it almost impossible, so definitely where you can, do it in a bit of shade. Indoors would be ideal, but big colour. smooth and seamless install, and nothing sticks to anything.
No.
Spray the external surface as well. Big bubbles out with your hands, making sure not to crease it. When it's roughly in position, you get your squeegee. Another quick spray. We want to work our way around and squeegeeing towards the external, like to push the water out in an overlapping motion with a good bit of pressure. Have a clean dry cloth handy as well, so that you can wipe over areas that you've done and see if you've missed any areas. Water will start creeping back in on some of the edges. Don't worry too much, just push it out. If it's really bothering you, go along with the cloth and capture any water. But we'll go ahead and heat seal this at the end anyway, so don't spend too much time on it now. Another thing is don't spend too much time worrying about little air bubbles. If there's any big ones, yeah, you can go ahead and get rid of them. But there's always going to be little tiny imperfections, and it'll dry out in the sun anyway, so over time, over the next couple of weeks, you'll start to notice those things disappear. So don't stress too much. So we finish the top half, so then we're going to relift the film at the bottom. Then another spray. Start working down along the crease. So when we're finishing off the doors, we just want to cut out around our door handles. So this is why we take them off, because it's a lot easier to do this than to cut around on top of your paint or whatever for someone who isn't good. So get a really sharp knife. We just want to puncture, kind of like cut down just to get in there, and then just kind of work our way around the edge, get on the right angles, slide the knife, nice clean cut, done. So when it comes to trimming your edges, because obviously we're not cutting it on the table to perfect size, you're going to have a little bit of overhang. So essentially you just need a very sharp blade, and I don't know how to tell you how much pressure to use, but you need to find the right amount of pressure where you don't cut what's below it, but you do cut through the film. I don't know how the girls do it, they're very good. But anyway. And then do that to all the edges, and we'll heat seal them all at the end. Toolboxes, what we want to do is we want to just, you can do it one of two ways. So you can either create a paper template, or you can put the toolbox lid straight onto the film and kind of cut a square around it. That way it's going to make it easier for wrapping edges, which I think I'm going to do. We'll see how we go on this first one, and then we'll decide what we'll do with the second one. Last step is to heat seal all of our edges. So we're going to go all the way along, seal up every single edge, make sure it's sitting down nicely. So you can use a hairdryer on low or a heat gun on low. Make sure you don't do it too hot. It will start to crinkle the film. Just take your time to go over everything nice and thoroughly, because the better you do this, the less chance there is of anything lifting later on down the track. If it's too hot for your hand, it's too hot for the film.